Hello everyone, this is for your second day of writing this week, so hopefully you've got a nice full word bank of descriptions for your monster and your setting, and you've got an idea of where you want to take your story now. Today's job is to create the events of your story. So you're going to use the story planner sheet and you're going to think about the beginning, middle and end of your story. So think about the events that you want to happen. So it's usually the case that when a story begins, a problem occurs. So the problem here is going to be that a monster is approaching. They might be approaching from the distance, the child might hear them in the bedroom, but you're going to start your story off, for example, that the child's in bed pretending to be asleep, but they can hear a noise or they see a shadow flash across the window, something like that. So that's going to be where your story begins. The middle section will be building up that tension and atmosphere and the problem getting to its end point. So the problem's going to get worse and worse and worse in your middle point, so the child might be running away from the monster, it might fall over the roots of a tree if you've gone outside of the bedroom into the garden or across a field, something like that, and it's going to be this big drama. You might have use of an ellipsis to leave that on a cliffhanger. And then towards the end of your story, that's where the problem is solved. So it's either the case that the child or children manage to get away from the monster, or it turns out that your monster is actually a nice cuddly soft monster that was just looking for a friend, and the silhouette and shadow of it made it seem a lot more terrifying than it actually is. So it's up to you. You can have any events that you want in your story, but you have to think about how they are going to build, because your main task with your writing this week is to get tense atmosphere across. So that comes from being quite subtle with the reader. I don't want you to say too much in your sentences, so just think about the events as they're happening. How could you give the reader clues as they go along? So really, your main task for today is to use that story planning sheet and have a think in the beginning, what's my setting, what's my monster doing, what's my child doing, and have a think for the middle and the end as well. You're not drafting, you're not writing paragraphs or even sentences at this point, you're just putting your ideas down about the events that you want to happen. Okay,